Many thanks for joining us at this time. Now details of the news. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke on Sunday inaugurated the newly elected local government chairman and councillors in the Saturday poll. Adeleke urged them to focus on good governance while warning against any attempt to forcibly occupy a council secretariat. He also expressed gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for resisting attempts by some forces to destabilize Osun State. Speaking at the swearing-in ceremony in Osogbo, the governor described the occasion as a major milestone in the state's democratic process, emphasizing that the election was conducted in line with due process. Before proceeding with his address, the governor called for a minute of silence in honor of those who lost their lives during the illegal APC takeover of local government secretariats. While acknowledging the legal controversy surrounding the election, Adeleke affirmed that his administration acted within the ambit of the law.
The Commission had complied with all extant rules and procedures, which led to the emergence of the new local government chairmen and councillors. I use this occasion to express my gratitude for your steadfast support for our administration. Osun people demonstrated courage and passion to exercise their voting rights, and they did so by massively supporting our party despite all constraints. I assure Mr. President of our commitment to the rule of law and the Constitution for complete resolution of an governance process.
We are all students of history. We know what we went through when the Southwest was wild, wild west. We do not want wild, wild west. They should stay away from this zone.
And still in Osun State, as declared the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as winner of the all 30 local government chairmanship position and 332 councillorship seat in the just concluded local government elections in the state. The OCEC chairman made the announcement in the state capital Osogbo and read out names of the winners of the chairmanship position in the 30 local government areas. He commended performance of staff of OCEC and also appreciated the people of the state for allowing peace to prevail all through the election process.
19th February 2024, just about 3 months after we were inaugurated as chairman and members of the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission (OSEC), the Commission commenced the process of conducting local government elections into the existing vacancies in all the 30 local council areas of Osun State. I am glad to announce to you that local government election as conducted by the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission has been successfully concluded. For the 30 local government areas of Osun State, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party cleared all the seats.
Chairman of the 10th House of Representatives Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, has assured Nigerians of a people-oriented constitution upon completion of the review process. Speaking at the conclusion of a two-day retreat for committee members in Ikote, Akwa Ibom State, Kalu, who is also the Deputy Speaker of the House, commended the members for their dedication and urged them to stay committed. Kalu praised their teamwork and determination, emphasizing that their efforts are driven by the desire to create a better Nigeria that reflects the people's aspirations. He encouraged members to remain resilient despite challenges, noting their role in shaping the nation's future. Chairman of the House Committee.
We know it's a tough task. We know as well that time is of the essence, view of the fact that we want to achieve first tranche of our job before the period of election. But with the kind of team spirit that we have exhibited, the kind of dedication we have exhibited, it appears to us that the destination towards realizing this is in view only because we held each other's hand, only because we believe that Nigeria could be better than we met it, only because we heard the cries of the people that we represent, and we want their voices to be heard, so that truly
Initially arrested in connection with the seizure before the mastermind of the shipment, Samuel Beatrice, was swiftly traced to his Exodus estate at Lagos home, where he was arrested. At the Port Harcourt Port Complex on a River State, NDLEA officer intercepted 49 cartons containing 49,000 pills of Tamil, a brand of tramadol, 225 milligram in a 40-feet container during his joint examination of shipment with men of Customs Service and other security agencies. In Nasarawa State, NDLEA operatives on Saturday, 22nd February, arrested two suspects, Bello Adamu, 40, and Pius Azuka, 42, at Kokona Cafe with 517 kilograms of skunk, while two other suspects, Usman Rua, 43, and Yunus Audrina, 45, were nabbed in a Toyota Corolla car conveying 62.7 kg of skunk along the Sabun Sibiti Road, Kotangura, Niger State, on Thursday, 20th February. Anambra State Police Commissioner Ikio Yorutugu has said that the two suspected killers of Anambra State lawmaker representing Onitsha 1 constituency, Justice Azuka, who escaped during an investigative tour, are not the prime suspects. The Anambra Police Commissioner made this known while parading suspected car snatchers at the State Police Command headquarters in Amawbia. According to the Anambra Police Commissioner, 11 suspects were arrested regarding the killing of the lawmaker, while the prime suspects are still in police custody.
Suspects, Ikemefuna Osai from Delta State and Chinedu Okoli from Imo State, out of 11 suspects.
You're still on to the news on Galaxy TV. Coming up next. Nigeria Bar Association calls on Benue State House of Assembly to tour the path of Hannah and set aside decision which removed Justice Maurice Ikpambase as the Chief Judge of the state. Details of that and more coming after the break. Do stay with us. We are glad to have you back. Now, for more updates and latest news, please visit our website www.galaxytvonline.com. Connect with us on our X handle at Galaxy TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Galaxy TV News. You can follow and interact with us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Remember to follow and tag us on our Instagram page as Galaxy TV. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your live updates and comments, as you can easily scan our IG QR code. Now to the story teased earlier. Nigeria Bar Association has called on Benue State House of Assembly to tour the path of honor and set aside the decision which removed Justice Maurice Ikpambase as the Chief Judge of the state, stating that lawmakers should allow the petition against them follow due process as enshrined in the Constitution. Chairman Makode Branch Nigeria Bar Association, Barrister Tenanaji, stated this in Makode while briefing newsmen condemning the actions of the lawmaker. He described the act as a violation of his fundamental rights for not giving him a fair hearing, having been accused of grievous allegations. While hoping that the lawmakers act honorable to reinstate the decision, he however said Justice Morris remains the Chief Judge of Benue State, noting that the NBA will formally write to the Assembly to state their position in the interest of the Benue people.
The Chief Judge has not been removed. The because the House of Assembly has no power to remove the Chief Judge. Even the section that they relied upon that allows them to receive a petition and then investigate does not say they should remove. It says they can recommend to the governor. As we speak, the governor has taken no step.
The Makade branch chairman cautions some lawyers not to mislead members of the public by misrepresenting facts with regards to the Supreme Court judgment on judicial office.
And the Supreme Court came out clearly to state that the House of Assembly has no such powers. That authority of the Supreme Court has not been set aside. It is a law that is subsisting on all parties, including the House of Assembly of Benue State.
Moving on to other stories, the Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, has attributed the actualization of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway and other legacy projects across the country as catalysts for the country's economic emancipation. He disclosed this during an inspection tour of ongoing construction on Phase 1, Section 1 and 2 of the highway in Lagos. He said that the project, designed to traverse 9 states along Nigeria's shoreline, is an investment in the collective future, adding that the coastal highway will incorporate wind turbines within its corridor to generate clean energy, which will earn the country carbon credit, thereby putting Nigeria on the global pedestal of environmentally friendly nations.
We have every reason to celebrate Mr. President. We have every reason to thank God for bringing him. This project is not just road construction, it is an investment. It has all the beautiful ingredients of an investment. We have train track in between, the two-carriageway. We have solar lights, which we endorse carbon credits.
Engineer Umahi commended the contractor for its demonstrated technical prowess. He also praised them on the basis of the project, area of equipment, quality, and above all, the company's readiness and determination to deliver on our great standards and timelines.
It's, quite a wonderful concept. A man dreamt about 27 years back, and God gave him the grace to actualize his dream. And that of Sokoto was dreamt 45 years ago by the Shagadi administration, and God gave the man the mandate to actualize that. And of course, the Trans-Hara was earmarked by the colonial masters. God gave a man the opportunity to actualize it.
The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has sought the assistance of the Japan International Cooperation Agency in securing potential co-financing support for ambitious distributed access through renewable energy scale-up project, a critical initiative aimed at expanding the reach of renewable energy nationwide. The $750 million World Bank-assisted program implemented by the Rural Electrification Agency is to provide electricity to 17.5 million Nigerians. This initiative is set to expand energy access in rural and underserved communities, stimulating economic growth and sustainable development. Adelabu made a request during a high-level delegation of key stakeholders in Nigeria's power sector to Japan to strengthen bilateral energy partnership. The 3-day strategic visit served as a critical platform to engage with Japanese energy leaders, policymakers, and industry experts, with a focus on enhancing Nigeria's power infrastructure, improving grid reliability, and exploring innovative energy solutions. A statement by the Electrification Energy noted that the minister and the Nigerian delegation engaged in high-level discussions and technical sessions, gaining insight into Japan's energy market structure, policy framework, and operational models. The government aimed to secure $200 million from the cooperation agency as part of plans to attract over $1 billion in private capital and additional financing from development partners. The federal government has declared its readiness to cancel its visa on arrival policy. Not only that, the government is set to introduce landing and exit card, which prospective visitors would pre-fill before coming into the country. Galaxy News correspondent Tunde Ujo has more in this report.
The week-long capacity building training on advanced passenger information, passenger name record (API) and PNI data in national security and law enforcement was organized by the Nigerian Immigration Service in Abuja. Recall that the Nigerian government had in 2020 introduced a visa on arrival policy, a class of short-stay visa issued at point of entry. Speaking at the closing session of the event, the minister, who assured of more improvement in the services of the Nigeria Controller General Immigration Service, Kemi Nadab, said the program originated from the discussions held with the United Kingdom Organization on Counter-Terrorism in Bangkok, Thailand last year. She added that the service recognized the need to fully maximize the present administration investment in this project, hence the need for the capacity building. Saying over 100 officers drawn from critical areas have been trained successfully.
We recognized that to fully maximize the present administration's investment in this project, we must engage in a lot of capacity building. Advanced passenger processing and analysis must be central to our operations. Honorable Minister, sir, over the past 5 days, we have successfully trained 100 immigration officers, drawn from the Command and Control Center and other key units, including the suspect in.
The president of the West African Society of Maternal and Internal Nutrition, Dr. Teresa Pounds, has raised concern over the high rate of clinical malnutrition, which poses a major threat in affecting patients' health and recovery rate in hospitals across Nigeria. Speaking at a virtual meeting with journalists, Dr. Pounds charged the federal, state, and local government to make clinical malnutrition a national healthcare priority. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reports that Dr. Pounds buttressed the urgent need for awareness, policy reform and collaboration among healthcare stakeholders to ensure effective hospital nutrition programs.
But the message I'm trying to send across is that it is time for us to recognize that hospital malnutrition exists, and this message is to the president so that we can come up with priorities. We can come up with initiatives such as identifying patients who are malnourished when they get admitted to the hospital. And the way we can direct committees made up of physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists that work together to ensure that this is done. As soon as a patient is admitted to the hospital, we need to screen those patients' nutritional status so that we can early identify what their status is and start intervention early.
In his remarks, Chief Medical Director of National Hospital Abuja, Professor Muhammad Raji Mahmood, represented by the LOC chair, a call has gone to Nigerian youth to be more involved in the effective sensitization of citizens on matters of sexual and reproductive health and rights. This call was made at a 2-day workshop on sexual and reproductive health rights for 60 youth in Ado-Ekiti. According to the organizers, it is aimed at improving access of citizens to right-based, inclusive and gender-sensitive services. Facilitator Oluwanifemi Ayeni explained the importance of youth to easily access information on HR and its terminologies, with participants pledging to champion the cause in their respective domains by ensuring residents engage in the advocacy.
We have 60 champions across 5 states because the project is being implemented in 5 states: Ekiti State, Ondo State, Osun State, Oyo State and Lagos State, where we are training 60 champions each. That's like 300 champions across these 5 states.
Participants identified gender equity as one of the major takeaways, which would enable them to be fair in their interactions with the opposite sex.
It is also important for them to understand basic concepts, basic terminologies, so that they are able to make informed decisions.
I'm ready to leverage this opportunity at my campus level to be students in my campus know their rights.
A civil society group under the aegis of Search for Common Ground SFCC has called for united effort among community leaders and key stakeholders in Rivers State to tackle the growing issue of drug abuse and criminal activity engagement held in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Gift Omoniwa, Director of Programs at Search for Common Ground and the Conflict Resolution Analyst, emphasized that the stakeholders' engagement is part of the organization's peace building and conflict resolution initiative in the Niger Delta region.
Project titled A Community-Centered Approach to Transforming Criminality and Violence in the Niger Delta. So while we're sharing updates on what we're doing, the impacts that the project is creating, we're also looking out for potential areas of collaboration.
I believe that we will achieve whatever results we want to. But sometimes we preach good policies, but we don't have the will to execute it. And the minute the people notice that there is discrepancy between what you say and what you are doing,
if there must be peace, if there must be stoppage of crime, if there must be stoppage of conflicts, then the securities agencies have to work on their personal worth. They have to know that they have a personal integrity to protect. And by protecting themselves integrity-wise, they will protect their jobs. And by that, they will protect the community. So there's a lot. And I think that at this point that the government should continue to retrain them.
They're trying to identify the various sources of conflict.
Reiterated its commitment to training and retraining of teachers and instructors in the area of vocation and technology skills to meet up the 21st century demands. This was made known by the Minister of Education in Ibadan, where 270 teachers from Southwest region are being taken through various skills. Shegun Falomon completes the story.
The Federal Ministry of Education has trained 270 technical teachers and instructors on digital literacy and trade specific to strengthen technical and vocational education in Nigeria. Dr. Olatunji Alausa said the training was necessary considering the demand for skilled workforce in the 21st century. Alausa, who was represented by Dr. Muyibat Olodo, the Director, Technology and Science Education, said as technological advancement reshape industries and amounts.
Where technology is going in the whole world, not only Nigeria, and Nigeria especially, with the kind of population that we have, we cannot but stress the need for technology to drive so many of the changes and innovations and growth, economic growth of the country. And for our technical and vocational education training in the country, the federal government have deemed it fit that our teachers must be upskilled. They must be equipped with what they need to bring about that turnaround for the country.
Also, the Oyo State Commissioner for Education, Professor Saliu Adelabu, commended the federal government for taking steps to train technical teachers as required in the technical and vocational education training curriculum. According to him, the training was the missing piece in the time past, as there was usually infrastructure and personnel provided for the implementation of technical and vocational education training.
This is what we are lacking in the past. You establish a government college, you appoint teachers, you put instructor there, but the training component is lacking. And that is what IDEAS is meant for. And that is what we are saying. Our teachers are capable, they are competent, but the moment the capacity building is lacking, you can't give what you don't have.
Earlier in her address, Mrs. Blessing Ogu, the National Coordinator, Innovation, Development and Effectiveness in Acquisition of Skill, said it was structured to address an harness skills gap at the post-basic and informal sector. Said there is growing evidence that training of technical teachers and instructors can improve effectiveness in developing countries in a cost-effective manner and without compromise.
Vandalism of critical infrastructure in Nigeria has reached an unprecedented level that needs to be tackled with every form of seriousness. as the consequences are far-reaching, thereby affecting every facet of our national life. This act of vandalism in most times repeatedly carried out on electrical installation, power infrastructure in primary healthcare centers and hospitals, leaving most communities in darkness and depriving the people of basic amenities. Correspondent Kiribal Lodia, who files in this report, takes a look at the negative impact of vandalism to Nigeria's economy. The report.
There is no state in Nigeria that has not been faced with unimaginable scale of vandalism, from road infrastructure, electricity installations to pipeline, among others. The Nigeria Police, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and state local security outfit have made several arrests of these vandals, most of whom are young men. This act of sabotage on public utilities by vandals are frustrating development at a huge cost, impacting the economy, as the Nigerians called on government to increase sensitization to further obviate these criminal acts.
The scale of vandalism, most especially public properties, is as a result of carelessness. So when they see government property being destroyed, they look at it that there is no.
Despite attributing it to unemployment, economic hardship, one of the local security chiefs says the state security outfit has arrested some of them. However, he called on public when they see something, they should report to security agencies, noting funds that should be directed towards other developmental projects are now wasted on repairing or fixing vandalized facilities.
So I'm appealing to every citizen that if you see something that is wrong, don't keep quiet. Alert the security agencies. We are there. The civil protection guards are closer to the community. You can call on us, and you can see a good example of what has happened. Assuming nobody called on us, these perpetrators will go unpunished.
Meanwhile, it is hoped that public infrastructure, which serves as a catalyst for development constantly being sabotaged, is reduced to enable government develop other sectors.
Now it's time to do a reminder of news that made headlines during the week. Tracking the Week is up next.
Welcome to Tracking the Week. On Monday, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund formally announced the opening of portal for loan applications by students for 2024 to 2025 academic session on Saturday, February 22, 2025, signaling the end of the 2023 to 24 loan application cycle. This is just as the fund disclosed that it has so far disbursed over 35 billion naira to cover institutional fees and student upkeep in 240 institutions across the country. Managing Director of NELFund, Akintunde Sawyer, made this known at a news conference in Abuja to officially announce the closure of the 2023 to 2024 student loan portal. He revealed that in just 220 days, an impressive 364,042 applications with an average of 1,000 applications per day have been received since the fund was inaugurated by President Bola Tinubu. Also on Monday, following the unjustly sack of about 30,000 casual workers of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company, Nigeria Labour Congress called on Oyo State government to intervene in the mass sack of these workers before it turns to security threat in the state. Nigeria Labour Congress Oyo State Chapter Chairman Comrade Kayode Martin made the call by addressing the sacked staff of IBDC in its office. Comrade Martin will give 24 hours ultimatum to Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company to reinstate the sacked staff who shut down the company. Comrade Martin lamented the treatment of casual staff of IBDC through its outsourcing agents by exploiting them while deducting their salaries without accountability. On Tuesday, Nigeria's headline inflation is now at 24.48% in January 2025, subsequent to the rebasing of the Consumer Price Index (CPI). Statistician General of the Federation, Adeyemi Adeniro, made a disclosure during the unveiling of the rebased CPI report. The inflation rate for January marks a decline from the 34.80% recorded in December 2024. Adeniro disclosed that food inflation rate was 26.08% year-on-year for January 2025, indicating a decrease from the 39.84% in the preceding month. Adeniro emphasized that the rebate CPI actually mirrors the current inflationary trends in the country, predominantly influenced by food, beverages, clothing, and footwear items. On Wednesday, the Nigerian Senate summoned National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and heads of all security agencies, including the NIA, DSS, and DIA, to address allegations of USAID sponsoring Boko Haram. The Chief of Defense Staff, Republican Congressman Scott Perry, Senator Ali Ndume, raised a point of order during the Senate session on Wednesday, emphasizing the urgent national importance of the matter and the need for collaboration with security agencies to uncover the truth. On Thursday, the Nigerian Senate strongly condemned removal of the Chief Judge of Benue State, Justice Maurice Mpambise, by the Benue State House of Assembly, describing the action as a constitutional breach. The Senate's position followed the point of order raised by Minority Leader Senator Abba Moro, who described the unlawful removal of the Chief Judge. According to Senator Moro, the incident occurred at Benue State House of Assembly on Wednesday, where Justice Mpambise was forcefully removed from office in an alleged breach of due process. Also on Thursday, former military head of state Ibrahim Babangida expressed regret over the annulment of June 12, 1993 presidential election, describing it the most difficult period of his life. Babangida said this in Abuja at the official launch of his memoir, A Journey in Service. Babangida said as a leader of military administration, he accepts full responsibility for mistakes, oversight and decision taken under his watch, reflecting on his decision to annul the June 12 election, widely regarded as the most credible in the country's history. Babangida admitted that if given another chance, he would have handled the situation differently. Lastly, on Friday, an Osun State High Court sitting in Ilesha directed the Osun State Independent Electoral Commission (OSIEC) to conduct a local government election fixed for Saturday, February 22, 2025. It was recalled that the appeal court on Friday, 10/2025, reinstated council executive elected in October 2022, while members of All Progressive Congress back to office. Subsequently, APC tackled OSIEC not to go ahead with the poll. Also, the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi-San, on Thursday night urged OSIEC through Governor Ademola Adeleke, tagging it as illegal because the appeal court reinstated the council executives voted in 2022. And that's it on Track in the Week. Now, we move to the international desk for more news. This is news from the international scene. Large crowds have gathered for the funeral of Hezbollah former leader Hassan Nasrallah, who was killed in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut in September. Mourners dressed in black flocked to a stadium on the outskirts of the Lebanese capital on Sunday. They also paid their respect to Hashim Safidi, Nasrallah's successor, who was killed in a separate Israeli strike before he could assume his post. Nasrallah, the former leader of the Lebanese militant Shia Islamist group, was one of the most influential figures in the Middle East. Hours before the funeral began at 1 p.m. local time, Israel launched airstrikes in southern Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah rocket launchers. People braved the cold to attend the funeral, which was held at the 50,000 capacity Kamil Shamoun Sports City Stadium. A British couple in their 70s have been arrested by the Taliban in Afghanistan. Peter Reynolds, 79, and his wife Bavi, 75, were returning to their home in Bamiyan on 1st January when they were detained. The couple have been running trading projects in Afghanistan